Hello everyone, my name is Sam. This is my geography final project. In my speech, I will introduce three different cultures. Through my story, I will tell you how this culture shaped people and shaped me. So let's start it. First of all, I want to introduce you something about Beijing in China. China is very important to me, which is my hometown. China is one of the world's four ancient civilizations. It is located in the eastern part of Asia continent and on the western coast of the Pacific Ocean. The land area is about 9.6 million square kilometers. China is the most populous developing country in the world, with a population of about 1.3 billion, which is a multi-religious country. I want to focus on Beijing, China. The place where I was born is a core area. Beijing, referenced as Jing, the capital of China, the political and cultural center of the country, and the hub of international exchange. It is also famous historical and cultural city, and is listed as sixth ancient capitals, as China, along with Xi'an, Luoyang, Kaifeng, Nanjing, and Hangzhou. Beijing is located on the northwestern edge of the North China. If we use absolute location to introduce it, Beijing city center is located at 39 degrees northern latitude and 116 degrees eastern longitude. Beijing is a national historical and cultural city with a history of 3,000 years. It has a very deep culture. More than 3,000 years of history have many places of interest such as the Forbidden City, the Temple of Heaven, the Great Wall, and the Summer Palace. So far, Beijing has a lot of interest culture, including Beijing opera culture, 胡同 culture, 四合院 culture, and many other foods that can respect Beijing culture. Among them, Beijing opera culture is a well-known culture that is very important to China. So let me introduce you in detail. Peking opera, once known as Ping Opera, is one of the five major Chinese operas. Peking operas have traveled all over the world and has become an important medium for introducing and dismissing Chinese traditional art culture. Its distribution is centered around Beijing, spreading throughout China. On November 16, 2010, Beijing Opera was listed as the intangible cultural heritage of mankind. It is because Beijing Opera has a very important position in China, so my parents also let me learn for a while when I was a child. At the beginning, I felt that Beijing Opera was very boring, and every time I performed, I had to put colorful paint on my face. But as I grew up slowly, I found the funny of Beijing Opera. I have learned a lot of knowledge by singing Beijing Opera, and I have also met many historical figures. In the past few years, with the partitions and help of my father, I get the key point of singing Beijing Opera, and gradually sounds better and better, and I can sing with clearly articulation and full tones. So I love Beijing Opera. I learned a lot from it. If you guys have some interest in Beijing Opera, you can search the website on my PPT. I have been in China since born to junior high school. After I graduated from junior high school, I went to the United Kingdom. It was the first time in my life to leave China, so I was very excited Because of this, I was very familiar with the British culture in just 1 month of travel time. The full name of the United Kingdom is the United Kingdom of Great Britain and the Northern Ireland. The mainland is located the British Isles northwest of the European continent. The United Kingdom is located west of the northwest coast of the European continent, on the British Isles in the Atlantic Ocean. It is a highly developing capitalized country and one of the 4 largest economies in Europe. Its citizens have a high standard of living and good social security system. As a member of the Commonwealth Head of State, a member of the G8 and a founding member of NATO, the United Kingdom is also one of the 5 permanent members of the UN Security Council. Here I highlight the capital of London, the UK, with a history of more than 2,000 years. London is an ancient city with a long history. London is a political center of the UK, which is located in the Westminster Abbey area in center area. Here, the symbol of power is everywhere, where the palace, the prime minister residence. In the process of developing cultural undertaking, every central and local government in the UK get great importance to the development of culture and art, especially in the past decade or two. The British government has placed an important position in the image of Britain in the world, expanding and developing culture and art, and stressing and expanding cultural exchange. The UK basic culture policy covers a wide range of issues, including what is known as the big culture. In addition to the literature and art, it also covers broadcasting, films and television, fashion, guardian, agriculture, sport, and so on. I think the gentleman demeanor of British boys can be regarded as a very wonderful culture. I am deeply touched by this. The UK is a conservative and polite country that make you feel a little bit cold. The new generalization of Britain is crazy, but what's interesting is that when they are old, they will become very traditional British, and I feel that our children are very disciplined when they are young, and they become free when they grow up, but they are always beyond regulation. It's because of these short months I fall in love with British culture. Finally, when I graduate from high school, I want to study abroad and see this colorful world, so I came to SFU University. SFU University is a very beautiful school in the Burnaby district of Vancouver, Canada. So let me talk about Vancouver, Canada for the last location. So let us look at Canada first. Canada located in the northernmost part of North America. It's one of the Commonwealth country and is known as the Maple Leaf country. The capital is Ottawa. Canada is a highly developed capitalist country, benefiting from abundant nature resources and highly developed technology, makes it one of the countries with the highest standard of living, the richest society, and the most developed economy in the world. Canada is also one of the largest and most important diamond producers in the world. The multicultural involvement of Canadian society is part of the Canadian government and the people. It is not only a distinctive sign that distinguishes other migrants from the big country, but also one of the main reasons of attracting immigrants. In July 2005, Canada became the fourth country in the world to recognize same-sex marriage. Let me talk about Vancouver again. Vancouver, located on the Pacific Ocean in southwestern British Columbia. Canada is Canada's main port city and important economic center, and a political, cultural, tourism, and transportation hub in Western Canada. The city has been rated as one of the most livable cities in the world by UNHABITAT for many years. Asking about China's core area of British Columbia, Canada is an international monopolist and the largest city in the province. By population, Vancouver is the third largest city in Canada. In 2016, the population of downtown Vancouver reached 3,200 people. Speaking of Vancouver, I believe people will think of ice hockey first, and ice hockey is Canada national ball. The 2010 Winter Olympics was held in Vancouver. Of course, other factors also make the ice hockey fit very well in Canada. The first one, and is the very necessary condition, is climate. Every year from November to March, or even at the end of March, it is basically winter. As for large outdoor sport, ice hockey is a main part. So similar reason, ice hockey is also very popular in Russia and the Nordic countries. Secondly, the economic conditions. The ice hockey is an expensive sport, and the equipment on the whole body is less than 1,000 Canadian dollar. Under the prime of having such climate condition, Canada's adverse economic conditions are good, so precipitation is also high. There is also the strong support of the government. Under the first two conditions, the number of participants is not a problem. Then government gave the people a very large number of ice hockey gyms. That is why ice hockey is so popular in Vancouver and even through Canada. I think the reason why ice hockey can respect Canadian culture is because Canadians think that ice hockey is a true collective sport. They put teamwork in the first one, and the aesthetics and shooting success are equally important. This is why I like hockey. Teamwork is very important. And for how the world impacts me, I think there are many kind of culture in the world. Those cultures have their own traits, like languages, clothes, foods, and so on. As a Chinese, I am very proud of our culture because our culture makes people friendly, warm, and communal. Nowadays, because of the globalization, Western culture also impacts us a lot. For example, we wear fashion clothes, not Mandarin jacket, and we drink more coffee, not tea. We prefer to watch movie rather than Beijing opera. So Western culture also impact me a lot. And for how I impact the world. For culture, what I can do is bring Chinese culture to Canada and bring Canadian culture to China. Sounds very simple, but it's very difficult to do it. The first thing I have to do is understand those culture, which make me feel very troubled. I'm still trying to solve this problem and I believe I can do it. I will also give a good publicity about our Chinese culture to everyone and let everyone know more about China. This is how I can impact the world. And this is my whole final project. Thank you very much.